The one thing I loved about Dave, and I mean loved, was that when you have a band, you kind of you all rely on each other to sort of be there when you're on stage. It's like that's what a band's all about. And the one thing I loved about Dave is no matter how he felt, even when he was ill, gave it 110%. You knew when Dave came on stage, he would give it everything he had.
It's like fireworks.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I loved about Dave always. It was never like, well, I'm gonna go on tonight. I don't feel I've got a toothache, I've got a tummy ache, I've got a fucking headache. He never said things like that. It was always up for it. I like to think that I have a piece of that too, because when you work with somebody with like Dave for so long, it gets ingrained in you that when you have that moment on stage, whether it's an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours, whatever it is, you give it everything you got, because that's all you have. Everything else is just hurry up and wait, sitting in planes, sitting in cars, hurry up and wait. But that moment on stage, and Dave always had that. Anybody who ever saw Dave perform knew they were getting,
Every bit of him.
every bit of him, yeah. And I loved that about the man.
Yeah.
And it was sad when we lost him, but we had a lot of great times together.
Dave was somebody that changed my life, basically. I met him probably in late 80s. I was engineer at King Snake Studios, blues studio. Had a blues quartet, played in the Orlando area named Blue House. And we played a very eclectic song list, what we called swamp blues. Lightning Slim and Lazy Lester and all this very obscure blues stuff. One evening, Pat Travers, my friend, great guitarist, and he brought Dave to see my band. He had just returned from England and relocated to Orlando, Florida. And the first time I ever met him, he came in and he asked to sit in with Pat, and him both sat in with us. He knew every one of the songs that we played. Him being nearly a blues historian and a great collector of blues records, right? And we struck up a conversation, became fast friends, and funny enough, we had a little plan, and we did for several months, played like a review where my band would open up, Pat would come out and play some songs, then Dave would come out and play some songs, and we were the backing band for this whole extravaganza. Eventually, Dave decided, because he was on hiatus from
Right.
so you still had Foghat continuing up, based out of New York, but Dave had went back to England, take some time off after your relentless touring through the '70s and everything. But he wanted to start touring again, and asked me to go out on the road with him. This review thing we did was mostly in Florida. And we started touring again, and really changed my life. Introduced me to the Foghat family, first of all, and I met my wife in California on tour with him, so probably would have never met her or had
She's
my children.
nice.
Hey, she is very
She's
nice.
very nice.
Yeah, she's right over there.
Oh,
So, I can't even imagine what I would have been doing had that evening not taken place. It changed, I call it a pinball moment because my life went bing bong like that. It changed everything. And so we toured for several years, up until probably like 4 years, up until 1992 when Dave and Roger reunited with the original members.